I'm going to do one. I'm not going to do as many videos this week. I'm going to do one big one or several small ones on the same subject. I want to talk about layer masks. The book is going to talk a lot about layer masks and channel masks and quick masks, and that's all great. But the one thing I want to talk about that I think you're going to find the most useful and use the most is the layer mask. So let's take a look at this photo. If we've got this photo, I like this photo. The trees, the road, the fields, but the sky is very dark and gloomy. So let's go ahead and select that sky and remove it and add in a nicer sky. So let's grab our quick selection tool. I'm going to hide the layers for a minute. And I'm going to come in here with the quick selection tool, which is over here, not the magic wand, but the quick selection. And I'm going to drag across the sky and see how it goes along, and it's going to grab more of the sky. I'm going to go around the side here and underneath some more here and some in here. So now I have the sky selected, and I want to inverse that sky because I want to select just the trees and the road and everything else. So I'm going to do a shift. I'm going to go back up on here and image, select, yes, I'm going to do a, inverse from right up here, select inverse. And I'm going to hit the refine edge. So the refine edge is going to show me what's going on in our image. What I want to do is I want to take a look at what's going on here around the branches, because we want to get a good clean, and if you look down over in this area here, there's some of the blue down there. So I'm going to go Smart Radius, and I'm going to open this up a little bit into here, and I'm going to make sure that my brush is large, and I am going to grab some of these trees and the branches, and I'm going to go see, look at all those branches that show up like so. And look at how much better those leaves and little branches show up. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to do around those trees down here. And look at, we now have a really nice mask. What I'm going to do here is, once I've got that mask completed, I am then going to decontaminate the colors. And when I decontaminate the colors, it's going to automatically set us up with a new layer with a layer mask. So if I go to the layers panel now, you're going to see that it put everything on its own layer. Like so. Much better. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to grab this photo of the sky, this nice sky that I have. I'm going to click with my move tool, and I'm going to drag that into this photo up to the tab, and then drag down and let go. Now what happens here is it puts it on the very top layer, because that was the layer I was on. So I'm going to take that layer and I'm going to drag it down below. Now that sky is in there. It looks pretty good, right? So making a mask, it automatically makes the mask right here. If we hold down the shift key and turn off the mask, you will see that we have a mask created that's going to hide the sky that was there. It hides the sky so that everything else shows through. So everything in a mask world, if I click on this, and you'll notice when I click, these 4 rectangles or little areas come across and tell me that the mask is active. Once the mask is active, we can do anything we want to it. It is a black, once you're in a mask, you're in a black and white world. There is no color. Everything is black and white. And shades of gray are different shades of transparency. So let's take a look at another picture. Let's take a picture, look at this picture of this little dog. And we're going to take the quick select tool, and we are going to click and drag around the dog to select the dog. Once we have the dog selected, then we'll go in, we'll refine the edge of the dog. I'm going to turn on the Smart Radius. I'm going to open up the radius of the edge detection a little bit. And I'm going to come in here and make this brush a little larger and paint from the background into the fur of the dog. Look at how much better that does. And I'm going to make sure I hit the decontaminate colors to put the new layer with a layer mask on its own layer. Once it's done, I'm going to grab the Move tool and grab the Move tool, pull up to this background, and I'm going to pull up to this background. There we go. Drag down, and there's the dog coming right into our screen. Look at how nicely it silhouetted the hair. But notice also in the ear, it's a little bit transparent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a paintbrush, and I'm going to change that paintbrush, make sure it's in normal mode. I'm going to go to the mask of the dog and make sure that I'm on the mask. See how the mask is active? I am now going to switch my colors, foreground and background, so the white is here. Notice the rest of the outside of the dog is all masked out in black. So whatever's black makes everything disappear. White makes it show up. So inside the ear, I'm going to paint and bring back the full transparency of the ear of the dog. And you see how that works just nicely. And boom, click on that mask, hold down the Shift key, turns the mask off, turn the mask on. Okay? So creating a mask is very simple, but let's take a look at more of the basics of what's going on with the mask. So if I grab this paintbrush with the white and I switch that to black, switch to a black paintbrush, and I paint the eyes of the dog out, see how the sky shows through? And up in the mask, the two black dots show up. So the dog's eyes disappear because I'm masking them away. Black makes things go away. And if you have a soft brush, see how it's so soft? All I have to do is come back here, switch the foreground color to white, paint with white, and it allows the image to come back because it's taking away the mask. Pretty cool, huh? I will make sure that I put all these images up for you guys to download to try out and play with. But look at how nice the mask on the dog is and the mask on the branches, and put that sky back in there. You get a really nice result. The layer mask is non-destructive. You're not erasing pixels, so at any point in time, if I need to go back and bring something back into this photo, I can do that. The layer mask is extremely powerful. When we get into our first project, which is going to be next week, you're going to want to use the layer mask a lot, and it's very, very powerful to use. So that's it for this one. I'm going to explain a little bit more about the mask in just a second.